Hi everyone, my name is Sharon. I'm your yoga instructor. Please make sure you have your water handy. If you have props and you know how to use them, then more than welcome to use your props. If you do not have any yoga equipment, that's totally fine. If you're watching the recording and this is your first time doing yoga, just understand that it's not about being flexible. We keep our practice more aligned with connecting body, mind, and spirit through our breath. So go at your own pace and enjoy your practice. Be kind to your body. We'll get started. So have a lie down on your mat or on your floor on your back. Feet about as wide as the bottom corners of your mat or a little wider than shoulder distance apart. And then just take it easy, get on your back. And if for some reason it's not comfortable or feasible for you to lie down on your back and then get up, then sit in a chair or sit comfortably. And we're going to start into our practice by connecting with our breath and thinking about grounding ourselves or taking in energy from around us, whatever you feel you need. If you've had a busy day and your mind is buzzing and you feel like you need to calm down and bring yourself down a little bit, connect your hands to the floor, to the ground. If you like tactile feedback when you're connecting with your breath, then place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your solar plexus, just about a hand width down from your left hand on your belly. This will allow you to feel your body opening up with your inhale, and as you exhale, you'll feel the chest and the belly sinking and falling. Alternatively, if you feel like you want to take in energy from around you, place the backs of your hands down on the floor and just let them soften, let your fingers curl in a relaxed position, and you can be open to receiving energy. So as we continue, I would like you to really think about your breath, really visualize your lungs, and think about using more and more of the room available in each lung. So gradually, over the next few minutes, as we inhale and exhale, we are going to take this opportunity to do our best to quiet our mind and calm our bodies. We're going to remind ourselves to let go of competition, let go of comparison, let go of judgment. Let's embrace an attitude of gratitude. We're going to be grateful for what our bodies allow us to do today in this moment. We're going to do our best to remain present throughout our practice. If and when you notice you're getting distracted or your mind starts to wander, think about drawing your focus back to your breath. Sometimes it helps to set an intention or have an affirmation that you can repeat to yourself in your mind, and then associate that with drawing your focus back to your breath. So taking notice now that maybe you can spend a little bit more time inhaling and exhaling. We're going to transition into windshield wiper legs. So go ahead and bend your knees and place your feet down on the floor or on the mat. To the outer edges of the mat or fairly wide. You can move your arms up a little bit somewhere between the side of the body and shoulder level, so about 45 degrees away from the side body. We're just going to breathe comfortably and then let the knees move from one side to the other. Those of you that are familiar with slower, more intentional breathing practice and you want to do that with your windshield wipers, you can do that. So sometimes we spend time here with knees up to complete our inhale, and then we don't move until we're ready to exhale. So if you feel like your body needs that today, a slower, more intentional breathing pattern, you can do that with your windshield wipers. If you feel like you want to get a little bit more movement and work on range of motion, then go ahead and move at a little bit of a faster pace, and you can just breathe comfortably. You can inhale as the knees come up and exhale as the knees come down, so the breath rate will be a little bit faster, that's all. Or you can move really slowly and really feel what's happening in your body as you move. If it's comfortable, you can start to move your head in the opposite direction that the knees are going. So we already have some twist going on in the lower lumbar spine, and if you start to move your head, then you're going to get some twist and movement in the cervical spine, the C-spine, in your neck. If that's not comfortable, just keep your gaze fixed up towards the ceiling, or close your eyes while you do your windshield wipers and stay connected with your breath. If you have some really tight areas in the thighs and the hips, you can leave your knees down to one side. Direct your inhale to any areas where you're feeling tightness and tension. Fill up those spaces with your breath, open them up, and then release the tension through your exhale. Let it go. If you want to stay there for a bit longer and do that again, you can do that. So everybody's different. Some people like constant motion because it feels good. Windshield wipers are great for a little self-massage across the lower back, the glutes, into the outer edges of the hips. Gives us a chance to roll out across the bottoms of our feet over to the inner and outer edges of our feet. If the head is moving, just gives us a chance to get some movement through the neck. Maybe alleviate a little bit of tension in the traps. And we're getting this really nice spinal twist, the lower lumbar spine, getting some stretch through the waist area and the side body. Let's do one more each side. And then hug those knees into your chest. So if the flexion or the knee bend and hip bend isn't quite available, and it's a little difficult or tight to hold over top your shins, leave a little bit of space in your knees, let them relax, and just hold on to the low part of the hamstring, just underneath the knees, and then you can hug your legs into your chest this way, and then gently rock side to side. If you have room in the knees and the hips to flex a little bit closer, then you can hug from over top the shins and just gently rock from side to side. So think about lifting the tailbone a little bit too, putting a little bit of flexion or curve in the lower lumbar spine, so that when you rock from side to side, it really feels good across the erector spinae muscles, those long muscles that run up and down on either side of your spine. Good. And then from here, we're going to place our feet back down on the mat. Let's start with the feet fairly close to the glutes. So maybe about one hand length from the bottom of your glute to the back of your heel, so that when we lift the hips, the ankles are pretty much underneath the knees or just behind the knees, so that we're more glute dominant. Place your arms and hands out to the side body, again about 45 degrees away from the side body. We're going to take a nice, deep, cleansing, energizing breath in through our nose. Fill up those lungs, and when you're ready to exhale, you're going to lift the spine and the hips up off the mat. Send the top of your hips up towards the ceiling. Really push down into the floor through your feet and your hands, even your toes. And when you're ready to inhale, you're going to lower the back and the hips down to the mat again. So we're going to do a couple more like this. Nice deep breath in. Open up the body with your breath. And then lift, squeeze. Finish your exhale. Then when you're ready to inhale, lower it down. If you want to incorporate your lower legs, you can also lift your heels. So on your next inhale and on your next exhale, As you come up, the back comes up, the hips come up, and if you like, you can raise those heels up and feel what happens in your lower legs. Finish that exhale. Keep the hips high. And then when you're ready, let the heels down, let the back and the hips down. Give yourself a hug here and gently rock side to side. And we're gonna change the position of the feet so that we're a little bit more hamstring dominant for the next few. So we're gonna walk the feet out a little further, about 1 foot length out. So when you come up this time, your feet are going to be in front of your knees, and you're going to feel more hamstring involvement there. So you're going to do the same breathing pattern. You inhale first, open up the body with your breath, stay connected with your breath, do your best to stay present, don't get distracted. And then when you're ready to exhale, you're going to exhale slowly and evenly and lift those hips up as you did before, and feel your hamstrings having to work a little bit more here. So you're still pushing down into the floor through your hands and feet, including your toes, and then slowly, gently release it down. So pay attention to what you're feeling. If you're feeling a little bit more strain in your low back with that one, then bring your feet in closer and stick with the glute dominant version of your hip bridge, okay? If you like the hamstring dominant one, you want to do a couple more there, then feel free. Inhale. And lift it up. You can use your hands here to support your low back and hips so that you don't feel as much strain. What I don't want is for you to be feeling pain. So if something causes you pain throughout any part of your practice, please don't do it. Take a break or change your position. One more breath in. And then exhale. Lift. And completely exhale. Good, bringing it down. We're going to bring the right leg in towards the chest and extend the left leg out. And then we're just going to inhale first, and then as we exhale, we're going to peel that knee open towards the right side of the body just a little bit so we get more inner thigh stretch here. And then when you exhale, bring it back towards the center line, and then take your left hand on the outside of your right knee and bring it across a little bit. So we're going to move from side to side. Inhale when you come to center, exhale and peel that knee open just a little bit so you get more stretch through the inner thigh. Inhale it back to the center line, switch hands so the left hand is holding on the outside of the knee, and then exhale it across the body just a little bit so you feel some stretch in the outside of the glute and the outer thigh. So keep moving with that inhale, and with each subsequent exhale, see if you can add a little bit more to your range of motion. Inhale it back to the center line, exhale over a little bit further. So we're going to come into a true lying spinal twist, but we're just going to get there gradually. Inhale to the center line, exhale, come into that external rotation for your hip. Try and keep both glutes down into the mat, both shoulder blades down into the mat. Inhale that leg back to the center line, and then exhale it down a little further, and then you can start to look at your right hand as well. So take it into a nice twist. So we're going to inhale it back to center line. Guide that knee over to the right side of the mat. It's a big hip opener. Finish your exhale. Inhale it back to center line. And this time we're going to take it down a little further. So if the foot touches down, that's great. What you could do is use some cushions on the left side of your body to help support that leg. If it's not touching down, it's not a big deal. You still should be feeling nice stretch through your glute and the outer thigh. And you can look to your right hand. If it's a little too much strain in the neck, just keep your gaze up at the ceiling. Bring it back into center, and then draw the other leg in beside it. This time you can peel your head and shoulders up and put more reflection or more roundness in your spine and rock side to side. If you like it better with the head and shoulders down, put your head and shoulders back down onto the mat. Bring it to still, let the head and shoulders down. Keep the left leg in this time and extend the left leg down and out towards the floor. If this extension through the right leg is a little bit too much, you're more than welcome to keep your right knee just a little bit bent. Just be aware when you start to come into this crossbody twist that you will probably need to extend that leg to get it out of the way. So again, we're going to breathe in with the leg in the center line, and then on the exhale we're going to open up through that left hip. So you're going to peel that left knee out towards the left just till you feel some stretch in the inner thigh and some opening in the hip joint. You can use the other hand to help support or help press that knee open a little bit and bring it back to the center line. Take your right hand on the outside of the left knee, left arm goes up to the side body, and gently guide that knee across the body just a little bit. So we're going to get to that spinal twist gradually. We're just going to open up from either side very, very slowly today. Inhale and then exhale. Again, keeping your glutes and shoulder blades down into the mat. Nice deep breath in. And exhale all the way over to the other side. So what you could do now is just stay here and take your inhale here. If you like coming back to center for your inhale, then go ahead and do that. If you like to reset in center, by all means. If you're happy with taking your inhale here and getting a little bit more opportunity to open up through the outer thigh and hip, then do that. And then you're going to guide this leg all the way over to the left. So coming into external rotation of the left hip, opening up through that thigh. So again, you can take your inhale here. Use your inhale to release tension in tight spots that you might be aware of at this time. And then guide that leg back to center, switch arms, switch hands, and start to take it down a little bit more. Create more stretch in the outside of that left leg. And if it's available, turn and look towards your left hand. Inhale it back. You can go to center line, or you can inhale it with it crossed over, and then as you exhale, bring it down to the left side. So again, if you're comfortable holding an external rotation and holding the stretch, then inhale here, or inhale and bring it back to the center line, whatever feels best for you. Once you're ready to exhale, you're going to guide that knee over to the right side of your body. Try and keep your left shoulder blade down as your left hip starts to come up. So again, if the toe touches down, if more of the leg comes down, if you've got great range of motion today, that's good. If you need to use your props or cushions, have something to rest your leg on the right side of your body, that totally works. And then bring it back. And we're going to go one more time. Fill those lungs up. Stay connected with your breath. And then when you're ready to exhale, guide that leg all the way over. And if you want to stay here for another breath cycle, then use your inhale to open up any spots where you notice some extra tension or tightness. And then as you exhale, bring it back to center and release the leg all the way down. Good. We're just going to rock across the glutes from side to side. So you can gently push, have your arms out to the side and just gently rock yourself from side to side. Just a few. Make sure that those glutes are nice and relaxed. And then take your arms up overhead. So if you've got a good range of motion in your shoulders, you're going to reach straight up overhead. Think about making a letter I with your body. If your shoulders are a little tight and it's hard to get your arms straight in the I position, then widen the distance between your arms so that they're more in a letter Y position, and you should be able to get better extension here. So what we're going to do on the inhale is, with your arms in the letter I or letter Y position, is reach up and out through the tips of the fingers and think about creating lots of length through the body. Point your toes, reach down and out through the tips of your toes. Complete your inhale, and then when you exhale, you're just going to soften everything from where it is. So if your arms are in Y, the elbows might slide down, as they would if your arms are in I. The elbows will soften and the arms might just slide down a little bit. The backs of the hands become heavy. The fingers curl into their relaxed position. Make sure that you're totally relaxing through the hips, and then the legs and the feet will just roll out as you soften everything through the hips. When you're ready to inhale, you're going to really stretch and lengthen. Make yourself as tall and long as possible. If you're adjusting for extension and shoulder tightness, then bring your arms out into Y. You can still extend up and out through those fingertips. And then let everything relax where it is. You just feel everything melt and soften. Again, stay present. Try not to get distracted by outside noises or thoughts running through your head. Stay connected with your body. Inhale, point your toes. Reach up and out through the tips of your fingers. Feel that low back come off the mat as it arches when you stretch. So it's gonna arch naturally a little bit. Then when you're ready to exhale, everything softens. Make sure all the layers in your glutes soften. You can just let your elbows soften and bend a little bit. Let the arms become heavy. Good. So let's do a couple more windshield wipers here. And then we're going to go into lying spinal twist with both legs. So go ahead and move through your windshield wipers. Breathing comfortably. Maybe taking notice that it feels a little smoother now, maybe not as tight. Or if you notice tight spots still, then maybe slow it down and use your breath. Direct your breath to those spots where you feel tension. And then exhale that tension out. Maybe the head is able to move a little bit better now as well, from side to side. Remember, the head can move, or you can keep the gaze fixed up to the ceiling, whatever feels best. All right, from here, we're going to take the legs into tabletops. So that means 90 degrees in the hips and 90 degrees in the knees. Arms are out to the side body. And you're going to inhale first as usual, and then as you exhale, you're going to lower both knees down to one side. So you're going to use your core a little bit more here. We're starting to wake up the core and the ab muscles. Inhale first, exhale, draw your navel in. You strengthen your abs to bring those legs back to the center. Again, inhale first before you move. So nice deep breath in. And when you're ready, lower knees down to side 2. Maybe look in the opposite direction if it's available. Feel that twist coming into the spine. Feel what happens through your waist area. If the knees come all the way down, great, as long as the shoulder blade doesn't lift. Draw your navel in as you exhale and bring it back to center. So if you're finding this is a lot today, you're starting to really break a sweat and it's a little bit too much, put the feet down and do this with the feet down. Inhale first. And then exhale, let both knees down to one side. You still need to support, use your abs to support. So inhale, and then when you exhale, draw the belly button in. You strengthen your abs to bring those legs, those knees back to center. Fix your gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. Good. And we're going to do a little bit more core here. Legs in tabletop. This time we're going to extend the arms up towards the ceiling. We want to have our hands stacked over our shoulders, and we're going to have our palms facing each other. So there's a really nice kind of geometric square shape happening between your arms and your hips there. Inhale first, draw the navel in and down, set those abs even before you start. So have that feeling in there that you get when you're laughing, coughing, and then when you're ready to exhale, extend opposite arm to leg. The other one stays in place. When you're ready to inhale, reset everything to tabletop. Nice deep breath in, keeping some tension in the abs the whole time. And then when you extend opposite arm to leg on side 2, the abs draw in tighter, and you exhale. Inhale to reset. Nice deep breath in. Keep that low back down into the floor of the mat, and then when you're ready to exhale, opposite arm to leg. Go down without touching the floor. So your glute really engages, your abs engage, and then you bring it back to reset. Let's do one more. Nice deep breath in. And good. Hug those knees in. That could be feeling pretty intense for some of you in this heat. So as I said before, listen to your body. Take water often. Now's a good time to take some water. We're going to rock ourselves up to seated position anyway. So bring yourself to still, and then just place your hands on the low part of your hamstring so that your legs can open up a little bit more. You're going to peel your head and shoulders up, and you're going to rock forward and back. Make it bigger and bigger, and then rock up to seated. Take 2-3 sips of water. And then we're going to move to our hands and knees position and work cow and cat. So we're going to work through the spine. So we want to start hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Again, making that nice tabletop position, but now we're just facing the floor. And as you inhale, you're going to sink the belly down towards the mat, and you're going to lift the tailbone, lift the chin, fix your gaze past the top of your mat. Keep your elbows extended or straight if you can. And when you're ready to exhale, you're going to push away from the floor, keeping those arms straight. Draw the navel in and up. Send the back of the spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck the chin into the chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Think about creating lots of space between each vertebrae and between your shoulder blades. Then when you're ready to inhale, you're going to move the other way. So the belly sinks down towards the floor. We're opening up through the front body, extending through the back body. Fix your gaze more forward this time if it's available. Really lift your tailbone. Let your belly sink down. Push away from the floor. Shoulder blades are retracted and depressed. When you're ready to exhale, push away. Lift the back of the spine up. Feel that curve coming into your back. Chin tucks into chest. Try and look to your belly button or your hips. And then come back into cow one more time. If you're able to lift your chin a little bit more and start to look upwards, you'll get more stretch in the front of the neck. If it's not there, don't worry about it. Just release it, let it go, let it be. It is what it is. And then when you're ready to move the other way, push away. Draw the navel in and up. Chin into chest. And come to neutral. So next we're going to come into our kneeling side stretch. So you're going to, from there, step your left foot forward. So if 12 o'clock is directly in front of you, let's go to 11 o'clock. Have arms right down by your side. And if you check behind you, you want your right toes tucked and your foot in line with your knee. Your foot directly in line with your knee behind you. Front body facing the wall that you're facing. Shoulders back and down. Nice deep breath in first, and when you're ready to exhale, take that right arm up and over and lean over to the left. Send your hip a little bit towards your right hip towards the right side, opening up through that side body, and then when you're ready to inhale, bring it back down. So also in this move, you want to engage your right glute and press your right hip forward. So you're getting deeper into the hip flexor and the quad. So engage that glute, press the hip forward, inhale, and then exhale, send that right hip over to the right wall. You still have your glute on and your hip flexor pressed forward. So that's a big stretch in the front and the side. When you're ready, bring it back down. Anytime you need to take a break, you can. Remember, if you need extra padding under your knee, you're more than welcome to do that. Inhale. And exhale. Keep your glutes on. And bring it down. Good. We're going to come back down into a high kneel with our toes tucked. So from here, we're going to inhale up and look up, coming into modified back bend, and then exhale down. If that's a little bit too much, instead of inhaling the arms up, place your fists on the low part of your back and inhale, look up, and then gently press your front body forward using your arms and your hands so you can create extension that way, and then bring it back to tall spine. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale up. So when we go into extension, we're inhaling, and then when we come back to neutral, we're exhaling. Good. And then we're going to come into that kneeling side stretch on the other side. So we're going to step the right foot forward into kneel. So we're going to about 1 o'clock with that foot. And again, tuck the left toes, and your left foot should be in line behind your left knee. You're going to squeeze your left glute and press your left hip flexor forward. Shoulders are back and down. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, left arm comes up and over. Send your left hip to the left wall. Keep your glutes on. Big stretch. And when you're ready to inhale, float it back down. Float that arm back down. Good. Nice deep breath in. Open the body with your breath. Stay connected. Stay present. And then when you're ready to move, exhale. Stand the left hip to the left wall. Keep your glute engaged. And inhale, bring it back down. One more time. Nice deep breath in. And good. All right. So let's come up to standing, however you like to do that. Grab a drink again. We're going to come into those standing spinal roll downs and work our way into a walkout plank. So feet at the back of your mat, feet about hip distance apart, shoulders back and down. We're going to just start with the standing spinal roll down. So nice deep breath in, open up your body with your breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to start by tucking the chin into your chest and then rolling down towards the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Keeping the chin tucked. As you come down, feel space coming into each vertebrae. Feel the arms and the head becoming heavy. You can soften the knees to take some of the tension off the back of the legs. Then just hang like a rag doll. Open your body with your breath in this forward folded position. And then as you exhale, draw the navel in and up. Use strength in your abs to come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Chin into chest. And then head is the last thing to come up. So shoulders will elevate, retract, and depress. So shoulders up, back, and down. Nice tall posture. Nice deep breath in. Think about reaching up and out through the top of your head as you breathe in, really lengthening through the body, and then as you exhale, start to roll it down, one vertebrae at a time.
Chin into chest. Keep it tucked. Coming down. Nice and easy. Head becomes heavy, starts to hang down. The top of the head starts to hang down towards the floor, and the arms hang down just like your rag doll. So again, breathe deeply. Open up your body with your breath. And then slowly, gently, as you exhale, draw the navel in. You strengthen your abs. Come up. One vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to come up. Shoulders up, back, and down. And then I would like you to just take a couple really nice deep cleansing breaths in and out here in mountain pose or Tadasana. So feet are hip distance apart, standing up nice and tall. Just fix your gaze somewhere on the floor, downwards, somewhere in front of you. And draw your focus back to your breathing. Another breath in. And exhale. Good, so we're going to start to roll it down to our hands and knees this time. So nice deep breath in. We're going to come down similarly. You can roll it down and go ahead and bend your knees. Reach for the floor and then crawl out to hands and knees. This is your first version of walking out to hands and knees. You're going to breathe in, keeping your toes tucked. You're going to walk your hands back towards your knees and start to push with your hands and arms so that your knees come up, and then you're going to roll up to standing. Shoulders up, back, and down. So the next version will be with knees soft, but you're going to continue and go into walkout plank. So the same way, you inhale first. As you exhale, roll it down, and we're going to bend our knees again, and we're going to put our hands down as if we're going to crawl out to hands and knees. But those of you that want to keep going, you're going to crawl out to a high plank, or you're going to crawl out to hands and knees. Okay? You're going to breathe in. Whether you're in hands and knees or plank, breathe in first, and then walk your hands back and come back to standing in reverse. Chin into chest, head will be the last thing to come up. Shoulders up, back, and down. So if you're coming out to walk out plank, you might like to have a little bit wider stance in the feet because that's going to be more stable. So go ahead, widen your stance to about shoulder distance apart. So the next version or the progression will be to come down trying to keep your legs straight. So you inhale, exhale, roll it down, and reach for the floor, plant those hands on the floor, walk it out. Feel a stretch in the back of the legs. Hands end up under your shoulders. Nice deep breath in here in active plank. So squeeze abs, glutes, and quads. And then walk it back. Roll up. Shoulders up, back, and down. Right, so take a breath in and out here. Grab some water if you need. And then we're going to do another walkout plank, but we're going to float the arms up this time before we come down. Okay, so if you need to take a break, go right ahead. And so we're going to add the arms up. So we're going to inhale those arms up, look up. And as you exhale, reverse swan dive down, arms come down, hands come down to the floor, bending knees or not, whatever version you're working, just stay committed to what you're working. And then plank or you're on hands and knees. Breathe in first. And then draw your navel in, create some tension in your abs. You strengthen your abs and your shoulders and your arms to help walk yourself back. And then roll up. Shoulders up, back, and down. Good. Now we're gonna move to the front of the mat, the top of the mat. Grab some water on the way. Walk it out. Walk around your room if you need a break. Reposition your fans or do whatever you need to do. Coming into Tadasana or mountain at the top of your mat. We're going to work a couple sun salutations just to get some flow going and different kind of movement. So most of you have done this with me before. I'll break it down or we'll just go really slow. Inhale up, similar to how we just did. Reverse swan dive down, forward fold in a ragdoll. Here we are. And then we're going to inhale into spinal extension. So slide those fingertips up your shins, just part way, and reach up and out through the top of your head in spinal extension. As you exhale, let those hands come down on the outsides of your feet, and you're going to step or hop back into your plank. Your option is to do this, you can stay in hands and knees. If you're in plank, you're going to inhale, and you're going to use your tricep strength and core strength to come down in chaturanga. So you're going to float the body down to the floor. If you're in hands and knees, just stay there. If you're in hands and knees, come down onto your belly now, and then we're going to inhale into cobra. Look up, shoulders back and down, and then you're going to exhale. You can come back to hands and knees, or you can tuck your toes, and you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling and come into a down dog. And then you're going to walk the dog or pedal your feet. So you're going to lift and press your heels alternating sides, and that's going to help open up the backs of your legs. As you inhale, look towards your hands, and then we're going to just take little baby steps up towards our hands. You can bend your knees here, and then come up into that spinal extension one more time as you inhale. And then exhale, ragdoll it down. And then inhale all the way up. Palms together at the top. And as you exhale, bring those hands down in prayer position. Connect your hands to your heart. Good. We're going to try that one more time. So that's the full sequence for sun salutation A. So we're going to inhale those arms up. Look up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale into spinal extension. Just slide your fingertips up your shins part way. Exhale, forward fold, hands down on either side of your feet. Step or hop back into plank. Or you can be in hands and knees. And then from hands and knees, you just flatten yourself down to the mat on your tummy. If you're here, you're going to breathe in. And then as you exhale, breathe out and lower your body down towards the mat using strength in your abs and your triceps. Flatten the tops of your feet. Everybody up into cobra. Inhaling and then exhaling, either back to hands and knees or down dog. So tuck your toes if you're coming into down dog. Shoot the hips up towards the ceiling and press the heels down towards the mat or walk the dog. Inhale, look to your hands. Just take little steps up towards your hands. Inhale into spinal extension. Try and have a nice tall spine. Exhale, ragdoll it down, hang out. And then inhale, float those arms all the way up. Palms together at the top. And as you exhale, bring those hands down to heart center. Good. So let's come down to the mat again, and we're going to work our pelvic floor exercises for strengthening pelvic floor. Go ahead and have a drink again. So, going to come down onto our backs with our knees bent. Place your hands on your lower abdomen. Line up your middle fingers on either side of your belly button. Spread your fingers out a little bit. And you should be able to have your arms and elbows just resting on the floor beside you. You're welcome to put cushions underneath your arms so that your arms feel supported, either on the floor or on some cushions. So you're going to imagine that your belly button is the center of the clock, and then just picture all the numbers around the center of the clock. As you breathe in, the chest and the belly are going to expand. Everything's going to rise up. Your hands are going to rise with your belly. You're going to get more space between your fingers, and the hands will just slide away from either side of the belly button. So you're really opening up your body with your breath here. The low back is going to have a little bit of an arch come into it as you breathe in. The tailbone can tilt down a little bit. And then when you're ready to exhale, you're gonna start to draw the numbers around the center of the clock, in and down to the center of the clock. So the fingers are going to start to knit together. You're gonna feel the belly and the ab muscles pull away from underneath the palms of your hands. You're gonna really make a conscious effort to recruit as many muscle fibers under your hands as you can. So you're gonna start to tighten inside. You wanna get that feeling that you get when you're laughing or coughing really hard. And then you're going to go deeper. You're going to think about those muscles that you need to incorporate and use when you need to hold your bladder. So pulling the muscles of the pelvic floor in and up. We're going really down deep into those layers of the abs. You're going to tilt the tailbone up a little bit and get that low back down into the mat. So finish your exhale. Press out that last bit of air. Tight, tight, tight. And then we're going to start to release and soften. And we're going to go back into that really slow, intentional inhale. So pay attention to your hands rising with the front body as you inhale. Spaces coming between the fingers. Again, as you inhale, fingers sliding downwards away from either side of the belly button also. So just really fill up your body with that breath. And again, just when you think you've completed your inhale, do you have room for a little bit more? Can you open up your body a little bit more? Getting ready for this contraction. We're going to recruit more muscle fibers than last time. So really connect your mind to your body. Really be aware of the body compressing as you exhale. Feel the belly pulling away from underneath the palms of your hands as you start to go into all those layers of your abs. So think about those muscles that you need to engage. Then feel the low back come down into the mat. Tailbone tilts up just a little bit, and then you're going to get deeper. Start to use those muscles that you use to hold your bladder. Tighten, tighten. And just when you think you've finished your exhale, can you get a little bit more air out and tighten? Squeeze. And then start to release. Feel the belly becoming a little softer. Feel the back start to relax away from the mat. Opening up the body with your breath. One more time. Take your time. Feel those fingers spreading apart. Feel the body opening up. Visualize each lung as a balloon. We're really going to maximize the space available in there. And think about how good it feels when you open up your body with your breath like that. How much room is actually available in those lungs. When you're ready to exhale, go slow. Connect your mind to your body. We're going to see if we can recruit even more muscle fibers this time. Feel that low back coming down into the mat. Tailbone tilting up a little bit as we go deeper into the layers of our abs. Fingers are knitting together. Belly and the muscles underneath pulling away from underneath our hands. Big, big, big tension inside. Lots of tension, lots of contraction, more layers, more muscle fibers. Get that last bit of air out really tight through there. And start to relax and release. Place those hands out to the side body and come into windshield wipers again. This is a nice way to reset everything after those deep Kegels. If it's available to you, you can move your head in the opposite direction that the knees are going. Go ahead and do that. Just breathe comfortably here. We're going to have a little bit of a longer Savasana today. I'm just going to talk you through a little bit more thorough softening and relaxing of the body. So if you're ready for Savasana, extend your legs out, or if you feel like you want to open up through the hips a bit more, you can put the bottoms of the feet together and have your knees coming down and out if you want more hip opening. If you can do that and stay relaxed, go ahead and do that. If you want to have your low back feel more supported, you can bend your knees and place your feet on the floor, as long as you can completely relax here. So I personally love corpse pose because I can just let the weight of my legs just completely relax along the floor, and then I have my arms out to the side body. Again, I like to have my backs of my hands down so that my fingers just curl naturally and my hands can just soften and relax. So whatever feels best for you. If you feel like you still want and need grounding, then connect your palms to the floor. So I think everybody is warm enough today, but I'm just going to put my jacket back on. You don't ever want to get too chilly during your Shavasana. Okay? All right, so close your eyes. You're going to start to scan your body. So imagine you're in a scanning machine, but just using your mind-body connection. You're gonna scan from the tips of your toes all the way up towards the top of your head in a very slow, spiraling type of motion. So you're gonna scan both legs together at the same time. So really make an effort to pay attention to what you're feeling in your legs. If you realize any areas that are still holding onto tension and tightness, you're going to use your inhale, direct your breath to those areas where you detect remaining tension and tightness, and then release it through your exhale. Let it go. So as you continue to scan the body and recognize areas where you're holding onto tension and tightness, you should achieve this feeling of becoming lighter and lighter. So I want you to really relax. And with each breath in, let's say to ourselves, I am calm. Still looking at the body. And then as we exhale, let's say to ourselves, I am relaxed. So you're gonna take a look from the shoulder joints down and out through the tips of the fingers as well, and back up those arms. So maybe you have some tightness somewhere in your arms, your shoulders, then go back up through the neck, up and out through the top of your head. Have a look. Any tension that you might be holding in your face. And start to scan back down towards the toes. Make sure that all the layers in your glutes are relaxed and soft. So everything through your hips is soft and relaxed so that your legs can just roll out naturally. If you're in butterfly or knees bent position, might be nice at this time to just go ahead and extend your legs and just completely soften and relax in your Shavasana. So every toe is soft and relaxed. If you have a look at the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, you're feeling very soft and relaxed. Have a look around the ankle joints, inside of the ankles, outside of the ankles, the heel, the Achilles. The entire foot is really soft, really relaxed. And then let's just have a look at the area between our ankles and our knees. Is there any tightness in the tibialis muscle on either side? Those muscles in the very front of the lower leg. And the calf muscles just feel like they've melted in a pool. Feeling really soft and relaxed. Have a look at the knees. Kneecaps feel like they're just floating. And have a look around the knee joints. Really soft, really relaxed. Now between the knees and the hips, there's lots of muscles in there. So you got your quads, you got your adductors, your abductors, your hamstrings. Then you have the layers of the glutes. You got your hip flexors in the top and the front. Just let everything soften. So that entire area from the waist down is soft and relaxed. Keep scanning. Have a look at the area between the hips and the shoulders. You got your muscles, intercostal muscles between your ribs. You've got your abs. Got the muscles in the back, side body, oblique abs. Everything's soft and relaxed. Going from the shoulders down and out to the fingertips and then back to the shoulders. All the joints, muscles, ligaments, tendons, soft and relaxed. So all the muscles in your face, the jaw itself is soft and relaxed, slightly parted. The tongue inside your mouth is soft and relaxed. Muscles around your eyes, soft and relaxed. So we're going to bring back our awareness to our spaces. We're going to start by wiggling our toes and our fingers. Then we're going to add some movement by letting our head go from one side to the other side. If you want to roll your wrists, if you want to bend at the elbows, pick your forearms up and just roll through your wrists, wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, and then you can roll through your ankles, roll them around, point and flex your toes, and then go ahead and bend your knees, place your feet down on the floor. And then when you're ready, send your knees down to one side or the other, and then let the upper body follow and pause in the fetal position just until you get oriented with your space, and then help yourself up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Float those arms and hands up as we inhale, palms together at the top. And as you exhale, bring those hands down to your heart center. Connect your hands to your heart. Namaste.